Thanks for staying with us. Now, in Southern Africa, 95 people have been arrested in Zimbabwe following the anti-government protest that happened on Monday. Zimbabwe police say they were arrested on charges of promoting public violence for taking part in demonstrations that called for President Emmerson Mnangagwa to leave office. The protests were prompted by Zimbabwe's ruling ZANU-PF party, which said in January that it wanted to extend Mnangagwa's term in office by 2 years until 2030. Meanwhile, the face of these protests, blessed Geza, who is a former ZANU-PF member and war veteran who's rallying citizens to voice their grievances, said he will give an address on Wednesday on the way forward. Now, to speak more on this development, we're joined by Tawanda Moyo, a political analyst. Thank you so much, Tawanda, for joining us. Very quickly, let's just talk about the development. Now, following this recent protest calling for the removal of President Mnangagwa, what is the general mood on the ground among the populace? Are people feeling hopeful for change? Are they fully in support of the protest? Or is there a sense of frustration?
That there's a sense of frustration both with the ruling party and the main opposition parties, which have sort of like fragmented into different groups. But also things have just sort of gone back to normal. There was a bit of excitement on Monday, on the day of the protests, but it didn't materialize as they had hoped, I guess, because they had hoped that there would be widespread protests. But what actually happened was that people didn't show up. People just decided to stay at home, so the streets were deserted, except for a few skirmishes here and there. And like you said, they resulted in close to 100 people getting arrested.
Okay, so we also know that Blessed Geza is a notable figure in the protests and had a rather subdued address following the demonstrations. What do you believe that this signals regarding the leadership and the direction of the protest movement?
I think what it shows is that there are preemptive declarations that they would fill the streets with people were very hopeful, and because that did not happen, it appears that they have to regroup and re-strategize. But the problem now is that the ruling party seems to be more comfortable now after the protests, after nothing much came out of it. But also, Geza promised that today you'd give another way forward. So people are sort of slightly looking forward to see what if he has another trick up his sleeve. Though it appears that this might just fizzle out. Even his address, he didn't appear to have a concrete plan, and people are now wondering whether he had a plan at all in the first place, or whether he was hoping that maybe other actors, particularly the opposition, might have jumped into his struggle, because they are the ones who command a lot of support, especially in the urban areas, which is the arena for these kinds of things.
Right.
It's the opposition that commands a lot of support, not ZANU-PF.
Okay. Tawanda Moyo, unfortunately, that's the much we can take, but thank you so much for giving us more insight on the development, and we're hoping that the protest continues to be a peaceful one and their message is passed across, if anything. Thank you for joining us again.